Hello learners, welcome to this learning session. Today I am going to give you a demonstration on the topic of volume. In the topic of volume, here we are going to find out the volume of some kind of regular object and some kind of irregular shaped object. And we know that it is easy for all of us to calculate the volume of regular shaped object. For example, it is easy to calculate the volume of a cube. It is easy to calculate the volume of cuboid. It is easy to calculate the volume of a cylindrical shaped object because we have mathematical equations. For example, here you can see I have a bar magnet. A solid bar magnet in the shape of a rectangular. If I need to calculate the volume of this bar magnet, I need to find its length, I need to find out its width, and I need to find out its height. Once I am able to calculate this LBH multiplying, then I can easily calculate the volume of this regular body. But we have another kind of method by which you and me can calculate the volume of this regular shape object. Let me tell you. Now children, here you can see I have a beaker and I fill some amount of water in this beaker. And I don't know how much water is there. What is the volume of the water? What is the quantity of water in this beaker? And you may find this type of things you need to do in your chemistry experiments. You have to take exact amount of water, exact amount of salt, exact amount of solution while performing some experiments. Even in physics also, that to understand the topic of volume, to find the volume of regular and irregular shape object, how would you find? So now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this water into a measuring cylinder. This is a measuring cylinder. In the measuring cylinder we have a calibrations. So here in this we have volume from 0 till 250 milliliter. I want to put this water into the measuring cylinder. Now you can see here I am pouring the water into the measuring cylinder. Till the last drop you can put, and then if I measure the volume by keeping the cylinder vertical to the eye level, and I can see that this is around 200 milliliter. So I want to write, children, this value, that the initial volume of water, you can see here, children, that the initial volume of water this is equal to 200 milliliter. I have noted down it into my tab. Now after this, so it means it is easy for me that what was the amount of water in this container, in the beaker, with the help of the measuring cylinder, that the volume of the water in the beaker, this is 200 milliliter. Now this is the first step. Now our aim and the target is that we are interested to find the volume of this object. We are not going to use the ruler or scale to find the dimension, so we are not going to use the vernier caliper to measure the dimension, but with the help of measuring cylinder and with the help of water. Let me put this bar magnet into the cylinder carefully, children, because you don't throw the bar magnet, otherwise it will damage, it will break our beaker. Beaker is made of the glass. So you have to put this bar magnet or any regular object carefully. I have put a thread, and so that I can remove it back from the measuring cylinder. Now I can see that the cylinder, that the bar magnet is completely gone into the cylinder at the bottom. You can see here. Now children, once it reaches to the bottom of the measuring cylinder, then it displays the water level. It has displaced, and if I see, let me measure it, and I can see now the volume is 200, 220 and 1 and 2. One division is for 4 and 210 plus 8, 218. If you measure it carefully, children, if you measure it carefully, if you can see children, that you can see that the inverse letter, but here that this value is around 218. Let me note down it in my tablet. So the final volume, this is equal to, the final volume, this is equal to now 218 milliliter. So it means to calculate the volume of regular object, regular shape object, that is the bar magnet, what we will do, that the final volume FV minus initial volume IV, final volume is now 218 and minus initial value, that is 200. So around this is 18 milliliter is the volume of 18 milliliter is the volume of this bar magnet. Now students, apart from this, after finding the volume of the bar magnet, that is the regular shape object, now our concern is to measure the volume of this kind of object, which is not uniform. Here the density is not uniform. Somewhere the mass is higher, at the middle mass is different, and at the edges you can see that the mass is different. So the mass is not uniformly distributed. So it is not a regular shape object. But the concept is same, that again you need to put this object, whatever the water level is displaced, means that after finding the final volume and initial volume, you subtract and you can find the volume of this irregular shape object also. Irregular shape object. I have another object, irregular shape object. I have a piece of clay. You can see here, this is a piece of clay. It is an irregular shape. It's not a rectangular shape. It is not a cubical. It is not a conical. It's a random. It's like a random shape object. And then again the concept, you can put it into the water. Water level rises. You can subtract the final volume minus initial volume. That you can find the volume of this piece of clay also. Means piece of clay means that any kind of irregular shape object. But students, from this discussion that we have concluded, it is easy for all of us to find the volume of a regular shape object or irregular shape object until that the object they sink into the water. But the problem arises when we face some kind of objects that not float into the water. For example, plastic or a piece of wood, like this piece of wood. Maybe another kind of this piece of wood. You know that their density of plastic, density of wood, they have density lesser than the density of water. So that's why that the object they float on the surface of water. This topic of density we are going to discuss in our coming lessons. So now our target is to find the volume of this material, plastic material, that not sink but float on the surface of water. So in that case, in that situation, children, what we are going to do, how we can calculate the volume, that's a very interesting question and very interesting topic here, children, that how we can find out. You think for a moment how we can find out the volume, because it's not going to displace the water level. Now to find the volume of this object, what you need to do, children, you have to stick this object with any other object whose volume, means that is a regular shape object, and whose volume you can easily calculate. So I already calculate the volume of this object. Initially the water level was 200 milliliter. When I put into the water, that the water rises and it was raised to, I have written this value and I can see on my screen here that the final volume was 218. Yeah, 218. And the difference of that the volume of this object was 18. 218 minus 200, that is 18 milliliter. And now I want to fix both of them with the help of a sellotape, and sellotape thickness is so small that I will consider it is not going to change the mass and volume of this object. With the help of scissor, let me cut it, and I have sticked this plastic, that is this sellotape, sorry, not the sellotape but the Fevistick, with the bar magnet, with the regular object, and I want to immerse in the measuring cylinder slowly and slowly again in the beaker. And once, now as the plastic is fixed with the piece of iron, means the bar magnet, and that's why the plastic and this both are under the water, they are synced. Now if they are at the bottom of the water level in the measuring cylinder, and I can see the rise in liquid in the measuring cylinder. If you see carefully, children, let me bring this cylinder near to the camera, and you will find it is exactly touching the level 240 ml. So remember, let me note down this value, children, on my tab, and this value now in this case, let me erase the previous value first, previous calculation, and now here volume of plastic plus volume of regular body, that the bar magnet, their combined volume, this is 240 milliliter, children. Now let me remove it, and you can dry it with the help of a tissue paper. But children, that this volume, this is the combined volume, this 240 milliliter is the combined volume of both objects that are in. We need to calculate the volume of the plastic of this a body. It may be regular shape object, but this object is has the property that it not going to sink, but it float on the surface of water. So in that situation, children, what I can do now, I have the volume, combined volume 240 milliliter. If you can see on the screen, children, 240 milliliter. And when we have used only the bar magnet at that time, that the final volume of the bar magnet, that the water rises, that was 218 milliliter, and then I can subtract that 218 from 240. So this will be 3 minus 1, 2 here, 22 milliliter. So something around 20, if my calculation is correct or not, let me 3, 10 minus 8, 2, and this will be 3 minus 1, that is 22 milliliter. Even that in our IGCSE board, that the students do the calculation in their calculator, and they are allowed to use the calculator. So 22 milliliter is the volume that I got for this Fevistick, this plastic object. So in this way, children, that you can find the volume of different kind of object, whether they are of regular shape or whether they are irregular shape object. This is the basic method, children. That might be there are not 100% accuracy while performing this experiment, but still this is the way that students you can do these activities at your home. Thank you very much, children. In our next lesson, we are going to discuss about density. Have a great day. Bye bye.